CL 650, in association with Tom Lucas Productions, presents Radio Real Estate.
Our house in the middle of our street.
And now, here are your hosts, Sherry Brown and Tom Lucas.
Good morning. Welcome to the on-air open house as we get settled. Welcome to the show. It's the first weekend of spring already. You thought spring was coming today, but it came yesterday.
I missed
But you were busy because you were celebrating your birthday week.
I was celebrating my birthday week. I'm 29 for the 16th time.
Looking good, and you got a new hairdo to go with it and
I
everything else?
do, yes.
Bill's
a whole
here,
makeover.
but Bill doesn't have a new hairdo.
No.
But that's all right. You have...
I'm letting mine grow out.
Oh, you really?
I'm trying to get rid of some of the curls.
Really?
Yes.
That'll be really novel. Well, this is the Radio Real Estate Show. It's where we try to be buyer and seller together. If you need a mortgage, we're going to take care of that as well. And if it's happening in real estate, we're going to talk about it, right?
We
Absolutely.
are, yes.
So the spring market is here. Sherry, any information that you might want to pass along to prospective buyers or sellers?
Oh, buyers need to get out there, get pre-approved, because houses are moving very, very quickly. Very, very quickly.
What about pricing it correctly? Is that still important?
It is still important. Generally, though, things are moving. So there's not a lot of good product out there. And the product that's coming on the market is fairly well priced from what I could see. There's a few that are a little over. Saw a listing for one of my clients the other day, and it just sold last year for about $475, and this year they're listing it for $519. So it might be a little inflated. You know, they might be trying to take advantage of the buyer's market right now.
So, Bill,
seller's market.
And Bill, you've been busy too. Yeah, you got to the station today. You're really busy.
We have a number of people coming in for pre-approvals. We had one that was a lady that was going to buy a grow-up, and a former grow-up. Sorry, that was operational.
I'm glad you pointed that out.
At the time, it had a really great cash flow. But anyways, regardless of that, now that's closed down. We can't get any financing for that particular individual, so they came back to us and actually found another house, and that's how fast things are moving. Is that can't get that one, I'm getting another one. We're not sitting around waiting. We've got clients all over the place, the whole Lower Mainland. They're just saying they can't find their houses that they want. It's and every realtor I talk to, Sharon and I talked about this numbers of times, that we just can't seem to get enough listings in place so that people have something to buy, and it's going to be it's a changing market.
So we need more inventory.
A lot more inventory. We should start building now.
Go see your mortgage broker, get pre-approved.
Yes, please.
Go see your realtor. Get out there and buy something.
Go see one of the contractors, start to get on to build.
Well, hey, listen, we have a special in-studio guest today, as you know.
Really?
Yeah. Showed up at the door. I said, what are you doing here? And the gentleman said, I'm on the show. I said, oh, that's right, you are too.
Really?
Yeah.
You let people in like that?
I do. Adam Corbin. He is the president of InstaFund Financial. Adam, good morning.
Thank you, Tom.
Welcome
Good
to the
be
show.
here.
Nice to have you with us.
Good morning.
Yeah. So you found the place okay?
Yeah, the parking lot was full, though.
Well, you know, at the open house here, there's lots of people want to come.
Yeah.
You know. But our hostesses will show you around after, maybe get you a beverage or something nice like that.
That would be fantastic.
So you can stay with us for a while?
Yeah, great to be here.
Because I'm looking forward to talking about InstaFund, so we'll do that a little later on in the show. Our recent arrival, what did you say? You're the guest that came and never left, right?
I'm the guest that came and never left.
Yeah, that's Bill Macklem. He is the president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. He's on the show as usual this week, and you'll have the mortgage rate update in just a few minutes, right?
Sure will.
All right.
And Bill will also answer your mortgage question of the week.
And later in the show, we're going to talk about how you can use the equity in your home for future financial planning.
Really?
Yes, I had a client come in just yesterday, matter of fact, and we had this conversation 5 years ago. She took her $10,000 or $15,000 RSP that she had, and she's got that invested. That investment's now up to about $80,000. Of course, we took some money out of the house to help that along as well. So I'm not saying she made $80,000 on a $10,000 investment, but she's starting to get some assets that are going to help her. She's a mother of 5 kids, and you need to have some strength behind you, and it's not just the house. You need to have some cash wealth.
And Finn Jensen, our radio real estate handyman, says developers have made hunting for a new home much easier.
And we'll be joined by this week's special guest in studio, Adam Corbin, who is the president of InstaFund Financial. We're going to talk about private mortgage funds and how about his company is probably the biggest lender in Metro Vancouver of private mortgage funds.
Wow. Yeah. And Patricia LaPena, regional manager for Legal Shield, has some great reasons why it's a good idea to have a Legal Shield lawyer. Look over your documents before you sign them.
And Bill's mortgage question of the week is coming up. If you have a question for Bill, please go to our website, which is RadioRealEstateShow.ca, RadioRealEstateShow.ca. On the homepage there, you can click and leave Bill a question, and you will answer it on next week's show, right?
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
And Andrea Jacques of Keller Williams Elite Realty will join us to talk about the spring market in the Tri-Cities.
And Mark Perry, who is our radio real estate voice of the Valley, will be on the line to bring us up to date on some of the activities happening this weekend in Chilliwack and, of course, in the surrounding area.
It's 10:05, and you're listening to Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy CL 650.
And it's time now for our weekly mortgage rate update with our resident mortgage expert, Bill Macklin, president of Dominion Macklin Mortgages. Bill, what do you have for us this morning?
Well, good morning, Tom. Good morning, Adam. Sherry?
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Bill.
Hi.
Everyone say, I count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Hi,
Bill.
Bill.
All right.
So rates are great. Some of the lenders are even dropping them even further, but for the most part, you're looking at about a 2.69 5-year term on a very aggressive 5. You're looking at 2.74 on a really good rate. 2.69 means that you're going to close within 30 days. There's a whole bunch of wish lists, but for sure you'll get set 2.74. So you should be looking at that as a 5-year rate. On a variable rates, I mean the variable rates are great. I believe in them. I believe that we're not going to see a huge increase in interest rates over the next 2 years. So now's the time to take advantage of these rates. Make sure your payments are based on a fixed rate, but use the lower interest rate for the actual cost of your mortgage.
Good stuff, good stuff. So Bill is going to be answering your mortgage question of the week in just a few minutes. Later in the program, we'll be chatting with our special guest, Adam Corbin, president of InstaFund Financial Services. And Adam will chat to us about the private mortgage funds that are available in Metro Vancouver.
You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house, Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy CL 650.
When it's time to make a move, reach out to Redpath Relocations. We are Vancouver's most professional office moving company. No matter what your business, we have the experience to get you into your new space in the most efficient manner possible. Our full spectrum of relocation services will leave you and your staff free to focus on your business. We offer move management, green initiatives, and our promise is to leave you happy. Call 604-945-9910 or visit redpathrelocations.ca.
Hi, it's Mark with EA Renovations Limited. I can turn your outdated house into something you'll be proud to call home. Whether you're looking for a new kitchen, bathroom, addition, or even a new custom home, look no further than EA Renovations. Let us create the home you deserve. Call 604-825-0789 today or visit earenos.com to arrange your free in-home estimate.
Hi, it's Bill Macklin. In these busy and hectic times with family and business responsibilities, it is difficult to find the time to sit down with your mortgage broker and discuss all your mortgage options. I'm available to meet with you at your place of work, your home, our office, or at a place convenient for you. Please give me a call at 604-684-HOME. That's 604-684-4663.
CL 650.
8 minutes after 10, 10:08 on the Radio Real Estate Show. You can get us online at radiorealestateshow.ca. Just go there, click on Listen Live, I guess, and then you can listen to us on the internet.
You can. You can also download our podcast if you want to do it while you're doing, the grouse grind or something. You want to listen to the show. You missed a clip. You can go back and you can like us on Facebook. You can tweet us.
What's that other grind you're doing?
Coquitlam grind.
The Coquitlam grind.
Yes.
Where's that go?
It goes way up. Way
Coquitlam.
up in the hills there.
Maybe somebody from Coquitlam could call in and tell us if they've ever done it.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds good. So we've got a mortgage question of the week for Bill, and what do we have for him this week?
Well, our question this week comes from Dolores Sanchez, actually, of Port Coquitlam. She might have done the grind, I don't know. But Dolores would like to know if her credit history matters, as her husband's name will be the only one on the mortgage documents.
That's a very interesting question, Sherry. I'm sure Dolores has already had some discussion with some people about that. So whoever's name is on the mortgage has to be on the title. So if she doesn't have good credit, she won't be on the mortgage, so therefore she likely will not be on the title of the property. Therefore, that will not have any good things to increase her credit score because it doesn't report on the credit scoring agencies. So therefore, she won't be able to increase her credit score. So she would need to talk to someone like us to actually get some help on that aspect of it. But in terms of buying the home, her husband will be the only name on the mortgage.
Thank you, Bill. You can get expert mortgage information online by visiting billymac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, MAC.com, or call Bill at 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
Thank you, Sherry. Bill's mortgage question of the week is brought to you by InstaFund. Visit instafund.com. Their business is building business success, right?
It is.
Absolutely. We'll find out more shortly. It's Radio Real Estate. 10 minutes after 10 o'clock is the time, and it's time now to check in with Andrea Jock of Keller Williams Elite Realty and find out what's going on in the Tri-Cities. Andrea, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Hi, Sherry.
I understand not only are you gracing us with your presence this morning, but you actually have a little bit of solid advice for prospective purchasers.
I sure do. It's been such a busy week in the Tri-Cities that if you're thinking about buying, make sure you have all your ducks in a row ahead of time so you can make a strong offer quickly in today's market.
Well, I know that homes are selling, and out in the Tri-Cities it must be the same thing. What sort of things are going on out in the Tri-Cities this week, Andrea?
Today I'm featuring a beautiful, fantastic investment opportunity located at 3886 Oxford Street in Port Coquitlam. Don't let the address fool you. This 10-bedroom, 8-bathroom, 5,700 square foot luxury home is located on the quiet end of Oxford Street, just below Burke Mountain Homes without the price tag. This was a builder's own home and is loaded with lots of extras, 13-foot ceilings, beautiful hardwood flooring, radiant heat, extensive use of wainscoting and crown molding, a beautiful gourmet kitchen with top-of-the-line appliances and gorgeous cabinetry. And what makes this home extra special is it has room for the family to grow, offering a 2-bedroom legal suite downstairs, an in-law suite on the main floor, and an additional 2-bedroom self-contained suite downstairs for teenagers. Come by and visit the open house tomorrow from 2 to 4 p.m. on the market for $1.288. Every weekend, you can stop by the Eagle Ridge Hospital for their auxiliary weekend coffee program to enjoy the sale of baked goods and beverages to raise funds for the purchase of much-needed hospital equipment. This is Andrea Jock for Radio Real Estate.
When you're ready to make a move in the Tri-Cities, call Andrea Jacques at 604-783-3124. That's 604-783-3124. Or visit pinnaclegrouprem.com.
Thank you, Sherry. Coming up in the next segment, we'll be speaking with our very special guest, Adam Corbin. Adam is the president of InstaFund Financial Services. And we'll talk to Adam about private mortgage funds that are available in Metro Vancouver. We'll also hear from Patricia LaPena, the regional manager for Legal Shield. And this morning, Patricia has some great examples of why it's best to have your documents looked at before you decide to sign them.
This is Sherry Brown of Remax Performance Realty with mortgage expert Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgage, our producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate, Vancouver's original on-air open house on smooth and easy CL 650.
I'm Adam Corbin, president of InstaFund, one of BC's most established private mortgage lenders. Many people these days can't rely on the banks for a mortgage. Whether you're self-employed, have credit challenges, or are new to home ownership, sometimes it seems impossible to get the banks to understand you. InstaFund can help. Call me directly at 604-687-2020 or ask your mortgage broker if InstaFund is the answer to your mortgage needs. Visit our website at instafund.com.
When you need movers that are ready and reliable, reach out to Redpath Relocations. We are Vancouver's most professional moving company. Our green initiatives utilize environmentally friendly e-crates that allow your move to be completed 20% faster than traditional moving boxes. Our 30,000 square foot secure state-of-the-art storage facility is designed to handle everything from household goods to museum collections. Whether the path you're on takes you across the street or around the world, reach out to Redpath Relocations. Call 604-945-9910 or visit us at redpathrelocations.ca.
Hi, this is Bill Macklem of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Over the past 25 years, I have found most home purchasers do not use a mortgage broker. We are a no-charge professional who have assisted over 5,000 homebuyers finance their home. The exciting part is these same homebuyers come back to us for refinancing, buying their next property, or lowering their current payments. Call us at 604-684-HOME. That's 604-684-4663 for more information.
Vancouver weather.
Well, the showers should disappear later this morning. Then there'll be about a 30% chance of rain over Metro Vancouver for the next little while. And apparently there's an opportunity for some lightning. And you saw some lightning in White Rock this morning.
I saw lightning this morning. I thought someone was taking a picture. It was so bright in the room.
And tomorrow you're looking at increasing cloudiness. Rain beginning late in the afternoon and ending in the evening. And on Monday, you're looking at cloudy with 70% chance of showers and a high of 10.
And right now it's 9 degrees in the Radio Real Estate Show.
Radio Real Estate weather is presented by Legal Shield. Buying a home doesn't stop at the real estate agent. Movers, landscapers, hiring contractors, landlord or tenant strata issues, possible noisy neighbors. Know your rights. For more information, visit 247legal.net.
CL 650. We gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, we gotta get out of this place. Girl, there's a better life for me and you.
a better life for me and you. We've got to get out of this place.
Really?
Now, you think that's the John Denver, don't
John
you?
Denver.
No,
I mean, no,
it's the animals.
He does really well.
But that's
he
the
disguises
animals.
his voice.
It's the animals, Bill. It's the animals. It's the animals.
I think I know where there's a better place.
Do you?
That you can go to get out of that place.
Where do you think that? What if I need some money to do that, though?
I think if you're having trouble getting some money,
Yes.
there's a wonderful, wonderful alternative out there.
I think so, too. And it's called InstaFund Financial Services. And we happen to have the president of the company with us. We always go to the top person.
We do.
We have the president.
He's probably an award winner, too.
Well, I'm sure he is. Everybody's an award winner around here, but me, Adam Corbin, welcome to the show again officially. Nice to have you with us.
Good to be here, Tom.
And
Thank you.
welcome to our on-air family, by the way.
Well, it's good to be here. What a great family you have.
Let me tell everybody, you first of all started off in a broadcasting career.
I did.
And then the lights went on.
I had a brief stint in radio, and then I didn't have even a face for radio, so that I had to leave.
So you worked in downtown Vancouver, New Westminster, actually. So
Yeah, I had a face for mortgages.
Did you really?
Yes.
So you went from broadcasting to did your dad start the company?
My dad started the company in, believe it or not, 1982,
Wow.
when interest rates were at 22%. If people can remember that.
Yeah.
And the real estate market and the mortgage market were crazy. And it was actually a very good time to go into the private mortgage lending business because so many people didn't qualify at the bank anymore for mortgages.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad started this company with the idea of making it easier for people to qualify for mortgages than it was at the bank. And it was a really good time to get into the business.
So how is InstaFund different than other companies around?
Well, InstaFund is different than the banks.
Yes.
And I have a saying that the banks qualify people, we qualify property.
Okay.
So, for example, if you go to the bank, they'll ask for your income, your taxes, your financial statements, your employment background, all of the things about you.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's really challenging to do that, and it's like being interrogated when you go to the bank. You give them all this information, and then you leave, and you have to wait for their answer. And, so many people have that stressful time when they're trying to buy property, and they're waiting and waiting for the bank to give them the answer.
It's kind of like being a kid waiting for your report card to come in the summer to see whether you passed or not, right?
Sort of, and it is. There's actually a lot of shame involved in going to a bank for a lot of people because, not all of us lead these perfect lives where everything is just done right. And the banks need to operate on that basis because they're big companies and they need to basically serve the entire population. Well, not everybody fits into all of that criteria anymore. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole.
Mm-hmm.
And so InstaFund is here to help people who don't necessarily qualify at the bank. For example, so many people are self-employed and they don't necessarily have the ability to go into the bank and show their income and their taxes and their financial statements. So when I said earlier that the banks qualify people, we qualify property. So for example, if you come into InstaFund and you want to qualify, the first question I'll ask is, tell me about your property.
I was just going to say that as a realtor, when Bill came in here a few years ago and told me, they're changing the mortgage rules, you're now going to have stated income, and that's what they're going to look at. And it's a lot harder for self-employed people to get lending. So it's great to hear that there's another alternative out there.
Well, thank you. It is, and there are a lot of companies now in the private mortgage business because of that, because the banks have tightened up. And after the recession of 2008, the federal government asked the banks to tighten up even more. So now it's even harder to qualify at the bank than it was, say, 5 or 10 years ago.
Now, we've heard many terms for these kind of mortgages, like B lending, equity lending, private lending. What is the term for it?
Well, that's a really good question, and partly because the market has become crowded, that there are all kinds of different niches in the market. There are, and Bill, you could probably speak more to this than I can, but there are so many, as a mortgage broker, you're out looking for so many different kinds of mortgage products for your clients.
Right. You have a bunch of different products out there. You have some of the lenders that are the A lenders who have a B side, which means that they'll have a little bit higher interest rate and maybe a little bit more critical criteria on it. So therefore, they're a little bit higher than normal. Then you go to the next group of people who are actually looking for some equity, but also some income again. And then we end up coming to you because now we're looking at just straight equity, and that's probably the place we'd like to go.
Exactly. So, for example, the banks want to look at your income, and it has to be accurate income. And then there are other companies that say stated income, where they will just take it on your word that that's your income. And then there are companies like my company where we have no income qualification whatsoever. So you might have a situation where, for example, the person who asked the mortgage question of the week, will my credit qualify for a loan? Well, what about your income? So, you might have a couple who are trying to qualify for a loan, and they income split, and suddenly neither of them have enough income to qualify for a loan on their own. And so they come to us because we have no income qualification.
Now, if somebody wanted to find out some more about InstaFund, do they just go to their mortgage broker? Can they call you direct? Can they do both?
They can do both.
Okay.
However, most of our business actually comes from mortgage brokers. And for the past 30 years, we've been very grateful to the mortgage broker industry, and we've worked very well with them to bring their clients to InstaFund.
So we'll talk a little bit more about InstaFund, but if somebody's interested and they want to go to their mortgage broker, they could ask the mortgage broker to get some more information from you if that's the way they wanted to work it?
Absolutely. Ask your mortgage broker if InstaFund is the right fit for them.
And maybe they can get more information by going to your website, instafund.com?
They can, at instafund.com.
All one word, instafund.com?
Instafund.com.
And you're easy to find? You're right downtown?
We are. We're at Burrardin, Georgia, downtown.
Yeah.
We've been there in the same location for almost 25 years.
And the couple of times that I've come to visit you at your office, I've actually got parking out front. That's kind of nice.
that you must have parking angels.
Oh, I guess so. So tell me now, what sort of people come to you? You're saying self-employed people?
Yeah, many people are self-employed. So many people have gone into business for themselves these days as the employment market changes.
Yep.
Retired people come to us because they're now they now have some equity in their properties. And we back to the other question about what do you call yourself? Equity lender, private lender. Really, it is equity lending, because the equity is just a mathematical equation of how much equity equals cash. So if you own a house that's clear title, for example, then you have 100% equity in your house. If you have a house that has 50% of it mortgage, so if you had a condo worth $300,000 and $150,000 first mortgage, then you would have $150,000 in equity. So we call ourselves equity lenders because we basically lend on the amount of money that is remaining in the property.
And do you have funds available for mezzanine financing? And can you explain what that is?
We do. That's a really technical question, Tom, because mezzanine financing is something that sophisticated developers do when they want to build properties like a townhouse project or a condo project, and they want to maximize the amount of money that they can borrow. So they might borrow conventional lending from a bank for their project on a construction lending, but then they'll go into the private mortgage market to look for the extra equity for the project, so that the developer themselves don't have to put as much cash into the project as they want, and that's where some investors will come in and finance the project for them.
All right. So again, if you want to get some more information this morning or over the weekend about InstaFund Financial Services, you just go to their website, which is InstaFund, INSTAFund.com. I know you don't call yourself very much, but if somebody wanted to call you at the office, do you have a number handy?
We do. Our phone number is 604-687-2020.
All right. That's 604-687-2020. And you'll talk to the people?
Absolutely. I love talking to people.
That's amazing, because I call Bill's office sometimes. He goes, "Who is it? Oh, Tom, I'm not in. If it's Tom, I'm not in." Just kidding.
So let me ask a question then. So let's set up a scenario. So I had a client in the other day, and so they have a Van City mortgage, probably got a great rate on a variable at 2.4. They've got a line of credit with the same lender at 3.5, and they have a private at about 80,000. That 80,000 is probably around 12 or 13%. I understand that you do a lot of seconds, and so and you have some very aggressive rates. Would that fit with what you're looking for?
Well, all of that would be predicated on the loan to value of this
It's less than
particular
75%.
scenario. Less than 75%?
Yes.
Then certainly that is something we would definitely look at.
Your max would be 75%. I made an assumption there. I should have asked you that.
Yeah. So for example, in this example, if the property was worth $1 million, and the total of the conventional lending, the Van City mortgage and the line of credit, was $500,000, then we could lend them up to $250,000.
Up to the 750
Up
level.
to the 75% level. Yeah.
Okay.
So in this case, with the $80,000 mortgage, provided the prior encumbrances, which are the first mortgages and the line of credit ahead of that private mortgage, is provided those mortgages, the total of those didn't equal more than 75%, then that's something we could definitely handle.
I think they're about 60%.
Well,
So-
60%, that's a real magic number in the mortgage business, because then you're only looking close to half the equity of the property is available to finance.
Exactly.
So certainly an investor would look at that and say, I would love to have that mortgage in my portfolio.
But you have some really aggressive rates, which make
We
you
do.
a little different than
Our second
most
mortgage
people
rate,
do it.
yes, our second mortgage rate for that scenario would be 6.99%, which I believe is among the lowest second mortgage rates in the private mortgage business in Vancouver.
Well, the second one that we have on there right now is, I believe, is 12.99. So you would be a godsend to him.
Maybe we can talk after the show.
Yeah, I think we should.
Anna, you said you have senior citizens coming in. What's the youngest a person can be? I guess just what, legal age or?
Legal age is fine.
Yeah.
Often you will find today a lot of parents are taking equity out of their properties so they can buy their kids
Right.
a first place to live, or a place to live when they go to university, for example. That's something that's very common. And often the parents don't want to have their name on the title of the property. They'd actually like to gift the property to their children so that their kids can start life. So the children, their children may be in their early 20s, and certainly, the banks aren't going to be lending a student a mortgage. That's quite unheard of.
Been there, I know. Yeah.
So we often lend money to. It's almost like family lending in that case. You're taking the equity from the family home and then starting out, helping their family start out in a new path.
Well, I know that you have skedaddle today because you have things to do. You have some business, and you've got your manager with you, and you've got to go. But would you be good enough to come back and play with us again?
I would love to. Really enjoy being on the
job.
show. And Tom, you've got a great show. And Bill and Sherry, thank you very much for having me.
And maybe next time you come, you could bring some of your from your air checks, some of your radio days, and we could play those on the radio.
I would. That would be pretty funny. Well, I did bring my manager today.
Yes, I
but
noticed.
I'm going to bring my entire entourage next week,
including the bodyguard.
We'll need a bigger studio.
We can arrange that for you. Hey, thank you for coming in. But before you go, what's your
Thank
website
you.
again?
It's instafund.com.
And the phone number?
604-687-2020.
604-687-2020. See, I don't deal with numbers. 604-687-2020. And you can answer Adam, and you'll be glad to talk to them, right?
Yeah.
Or go see Bill, the mortgage broker. He'll take care of you.
Call
too.
Bill and have Bill call me. That
That's
would
an
be
idea.
even better.
And I'll call you, and we'll go do coffee.
Sounds great.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in, Adam. All right, that's Adam Corbin. He is the president of InstaFund Financial Services. Their telephone number is 604-687-2020, 604-687-2020. The website, easy to remember, InstaFund, INSTAFund.com. Check them on out. I think it'll be worth your while, right, Bill?
I think so.
All right. And you're going to come back.
I'll be
We
here.
didn't
Now,
frighten
we've
you
dealt
off.
with them in the past. They do a great job. All our clients are very, very happy. And then they actually help us do this, what we call a two-step mortgage. So we would go to something like this and help people get out of trouble, and then we would actually move them back into an A lender. So therefore they get back on track. So therefore this is just a stopgap. This is just a means to an end, and then we move forward.
Well, you've talked me into it. We'll have Adam back for
All
sure.
right, that sounds great.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Adam. Hey, it's time now to say hello to Patricia LaPena. She is the BC Regional Manager for Legal Shield. We have her on the phone line. Yes, we do. Patricia, good morning.
Thanks, Tom. Good morning, everyone. We've had a really busy week since we last talked, and I just thought maybe this morning I would share some of the ways we've helped our members. I got a call from the owners of a local family restaurant, and they've only been opened 8 months. And when they negotiated their lease with the owner of the building, was really fair with the rent price. They got along really well, and they signed a 3-year contract with them. But a month into their lease, the owner sold the building. The new owner, not so nice. Suddenly they were being micromanaged by him, invoiced for things they felt were unreasonable, and he was very disruptive, even coming into the restaurant and cursing and swearing where other customers could hear. So they were feeling very stuck with not a lot of options. They called the law firm, and through all that, the landlord was contacted by our lawyer. He was explaining the rights of the restaurant owners, and at the end of the day now, they are able to get out of their 3-year lease and be able to go and find a new venue for their restaurant. I also sat with a very impressive 19-year-old couple that had just purchased their first condo. A physical altercation with a neighbor now has put them to the point where they don't feel safe in their own home. So we were able to get them the support to know what to do legally before the situation escalates any further. Another member going through a nasty child custody battle, and I just hate hearing those heartbreaking stories, but she suddenly had her bank account frozen by the other side, and you can well imagine that she needed help quickly. Our law firm recently was able to save $10,000 for one of our members this week. The member was looking to invest into a company, so he sent the paperwork to our law firm for review before he signed anything. And he found out that way that the company was actually operating also in Wyoming and Delaware. So the paperwork was also sent to those 2 law firms representing Legal Shield in the state. Between the 3 lawyers, the member was advised actually not to invest. So now that $10,000 sits very safely in his bank account instead of in a risky endeavor. And also the member was not charged any extra fees for using the U.S. law firms, which is great. A couple days ago, I have a client that found herself at an auto dealership where they did not honor a warranty. A quick phone call from one of our lawyers resulted in a $98 check sent back to the member because the dealership was clearly in the wrong. And one last story, we had a member needing to incorporate his new business. He's just starting out, and we were able to save him money for that. So these are all examples of everyday life events. And you know, the best part for me are the thank yous from these people who truly need our help, and Legal Shield was able to provide a solution for them. So thanks very much. Next week, my colleague Sue Warner will go over how other families can be protected from Legal Shield. This is Patricia LaPena from Legal Shield for Radio Real Estate.
For more information, visit Legal Shield at 247legal.net. That's 247legal.net.
It's Radio Real Estate, 10:32 is the time. The next segment of our program, we'll be joined by Mark Perry, our Radio Real Estate voice of the Valley. And this morning, Mark will be talking to us about some activities taking place going on in the Fraser Valley. And I understand, I believe it's Chilliwack or close to Chilliwack. There's a very special guest going to be there this week.
Really?
We've all seen this person on television.
Roy Rogers.
No, not Roy Rogers, Dale Evans, or Trigger, but we'll find out in just a minute.
Wow. And I'll be chatting about Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broadwick. Also, I'll be chatting about a do-gooder realtor who is from Million Dollar Listing. They do good things, us realtors, on my Celebrity Real Estate Gossip Report.
And this is Tom Lucas. Good morning. Our co-host is Sherry Brown of RE/MAX Performance Realty. Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages, is with us. And our producer is Dwayne Bishop. And you're listening to Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy, CIL 650.
If you've recently purchased or you're thinking of purchasing a house that is in dire need of some upgrades, then look no further. Hi, it's Mark from EA Renovations Limited. Fully licensed and insured, we'll turn your new house into a home you will be proud of. We do what it takes to ensure you're completely satisfied and make your renovation as painless as possible along the way. Call 604-825-0789 today or visit earenos.com to arrange your free in-home estimate.
I'm Adam Corbin, president of InstaFund. For over 30 years, mortgage brokers have relied on InstaFund for fast service for their clients. These days, mortgage brokers are working extra hard. With tighter lending restrictions, many of their clients can no longer rely on the banks for financing. Mortgage brokers call on InstaFund to help their clients when the banks say no. Put our experience to work for you. Call 604-687-2020 to see if InstaFund is the answer to your client's mortgage needs. Visit our website at instafund.com.
Hi, this is Bill Macklem of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. As a successful broker-owner, I have developed a team of mortgage professionals that support me and my clients. If you're confused with all the mortgage chatter of do's and don'ts, my mortgage team is ready to answer your questions to determine the best mortgage for you. Call 604-684-HOME. That's 604-684-4663 for more information.
CIL 650.
It's Lion and Zion and Diane and Crying. It's the Radio Real Estate Show on Smooth and Easy.
Great
CIL
music.
650.
Great music.
Isn't that good stuff? I'd ask you who did this tune, but I have an imagination of what you'd say. So
Dick Contino and his accordion band.
Yeah, that's pretty close. We had a very special guest in the studio just a short time ago. His name is Adam Corbin. He is the president of InstaFund Financial. Their website is instafund, INSTAfund.com. If you want to get some more information, it's private. It's a source of private mortgage money, right?
That's right. And this money comes from a group of investors, and they're large funds. They're not like I was saying to Shirley. We're kind of jokingly off air saying it's not like a bunch of us put in $10 each, and we have this fund. We're going to lend out $30. I mean, there's one on the island that's got $250 million. Most of the ones in the Lower Mainland got at least $100 million in them. So it's not as if you're playing with somebody that's going to be here today and gone tomorrow. Much like that ad on TV about reports, fraud, and all that kind of stuff. This is not that. They're all governed by the province of BC. They have to have financial reports annually and report to the province. So, like, they're regulated. So these are a good source of funds, and they're good for people who have excess funds. They're looking to make some income on their investments, and it's good for people who need the funds because either run the problem with Revenue Canada, they have an opportunity to build a new development. Like they're available for doing different things.
So if you want to find out a little more about Instant Fund, call your local mortgage broker. Bill, you can take care of them.
I would probably recommend that. I mean, Adam's a busy guy, and he's very much approachable. But at the same time, I mean, if you had 5 people call him in one day, like he's going to be tied up on the phone the rest of the day. So I would suggest call your mortgage broker. Obviously, we'd like you to call us because we are a mortgage broker. But definitely other brokers out there as well. If you have your favorite one, call them, and they can help you out.
And go to the website instafund.com, INSTAfund.com. Go to the website, go to your mortgage broker, call Bill, call Adam.
Yeah, we've got 15 brokers throughout the Lower Mainland. They can call any one of ours.
Yeah, good stuff. It's Radio Real Estate Show on Smooth and Easy, CIL 650, and our regular home handy guy is with us. Finn Jensen will be later on in the show, but our guy that's in charge of renovations, Mark, is away this week on special assignment, but I know there are probably some people listening, Sherry, that are thinking, maybe I should have some renovations done around the house. So if they're thinking about that, how do they get a hold of Mark?
Definitely. EA Renovations makes the process smooth and easy. For more information, call Mark at 604-825-0789. That's 604-825-0789. Or online, earenos.com. That's earenos.com.
1037 on the Radio Real Estate Show. Good morning. We have lots of Marks in this program. We've got Mark from EA Renovations, and we have Mark Perry, who is the voice of the Valley. He's on the line from Chilliwack right now. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Sherry.
Nice to have you back on the program. As usual, you tell us what's going on out there in the Fraser Valley. And so I ask, Mark, what's going on this weekend in the Fraser Valley?
This weekend, Abbotsford's going to have an antique show at the Trade Exhibition Center in Abbotsford. So that's kind of exciting. That's today and tomorrow.
Is Bill Macklem going to that one?
Bill is there as an exhibit, I think.
Sorry, Bill.
And tomorrow, we've got a couple of fine things to do in Chilliwack. It's the very first Canadian Annual Barbecue Championship in the little hamlet of Yarrow. It's actually sponsored by the Kansas City Barbecue Society, and it's on all day tomorrow, 12 to 5. And come on down and have a little finger-licking good barbecue sauce and food and see what everybody's cooking up.
Sounds good. I'm getting hungry already. Any more activities going on out there?
One more. The amazing Kreskin is playing at the Hub International Theater here in Chilliwack tomorrow night. So he's quite the show, and always good fun and good value for money. So he's at the Hub International Theater tomorrow.
The great thing about Kreskin, I remember watching Kreskin on TV when I was a kid, and he used to bend spoons.
He's a mentalist, is what they say. So,
is that what they say?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun to go and watch.
Anybody that can bend a spoon has got to be number one in my book. Let's talk about Inglewood Courtyard. Last week we had some activity around there, and things are just really picking up at pace.
You know what? With the weather, people are coming out. We had a great week. We've had lots of visitors. This weekend, we're hoping for a whole bunch more, and we're looking for some of our radio listeners to come out and have a look-see. For the realtors that are listening, I've put on for the next 2 months, I've put on a selling bonus, and I know Sherry will be interested to hear that. It's a $4,000 extra selling bonus for any realtor that comes out or even sends their purchasers out to see and come and buy, and everybody will enjoy that.
Well, that sounds good, and I've been out to the location. It's just a marvelous, marvelous project. If you want to go see for yourself, Mark, tell the people how to get there from Vancouver.
Come out on the number 1 eastbound. Take the number 3 road exit. You'll go past a big banner that says Inglewood, take a right, and you follow our signs in. It's about 15 minutes off of the number 3 road. And if you miss that exit, then take the Lickman Road exit. Come southbound on Lickman Road until you get to Keith Wilson Road. take a left on Keith Wilson Road and come to the very, very end. It's a dead-end street, and we're the retirement community right at the very end of the road.
Just follow the signs. You can't miss it. I know you've got a busy weekend all lined up, Mark, so do me a favor, though. Say hello to Kreskin for me and keep your spoons hidden.
I will, Blake. Thank you very much. This is Mark Perry, the voice of the Valley, on the Radio Real Estate Show.
For more information on Inglewood Courtyard in Chilliwack, call Mark Perry at 778-240-8513. That's 778-240-8513. Or go to inglewoodcourtyard.ca.
It's 10:39 on the Radio Real Estate Show, and time now for Sherry Brown and her Celebrity Real Estate Gossip Report. Sherry?
Well, thank you, Tom. It took 2.5 years, but celebrity super couple and serial real estate hunters Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick finally unloaded their New York condo. 2.5 years. The A-list duo bought the house in 2011 for $18.9 million and renovated it, but never lived in it. The initial $25 million asking price was chopped to $22 million, and the last asking price was $19.95 million. So this was not the most lucrative deal the couple has ever made. Now, Matt, realtors do good things. I just want to point that out. Not only are we award winners, but we do good things and we give back to the community. So Madison Hildebrandt, who was the Los Angeles real estate agent who rose to fame on the popular show $1 Million Listing, has signed up to be an ambassador for change for Do Good real estate marketing firm Give Back Homes. Launched in 2013, the for-profit company lets real estate agents demonstrate their commitment to the communities they serve. Give Back Home partners with Habitat for Humanity to coordinate donations and build days to help construct homes for families who need them.
That's very nice.
So that is a nice thing, and that's the Celebrity Real Estate Gossip today.
You were mentioning there about an award-winning realtor, and we have an award-winning realtor in the studio with us today.
Exactly.
Well, yes, you've won another one.
Yes, I've won another award.
Tell us about it.
Well, I won an executive level award for RE/MAX, and so it's a very nice thing to be recognized again for some sales that I've
Congratulations.
done. Yes.
Once again, I'm surrounded by award winners, and here I am all by myself in the canoe of life.
I was going to talk about, you're talking about generosity. I mean, there's the Dominion Lending Centers who donated bikes for kids, 550 bikes at Christmas.
Wow.
And we're going to see if we can't do 2,000 next year.
Dwayne, you and I better get going on this thing, I'm thinking.
Yes,
we better do something in a hurry. What's coming up in the next segment of the show, Sherry?
Well, in the next segment of our show, we get to hear from Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages.
And this morning, I'm going to be talking about how you and I and our clients can use the equity in their home in their future financial planning.
Interesting. Good morning. It's Tom Lucas with a co-host Sherry Brown of RE/MAX Performance Realty. Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Our producer is Dwayne Bishop, and you're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house. It's Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy, Sea Isle 650.
Remember the last time your friends didn't help you move? Our family has helped move families and businesses around the world for the past 35 years. Redpath Relocations understands its needs of its clients. We offer walkaway service from your old office furnishings, donating them to local charities or environmentally friendly recycling. Check us out at redpathrelocations.ca or give us a call at 604-945-9910. Here at Redpath Relocations, we understand the business. We're always ready, always reliable.
I'm Adam Corbin, president of InstaFund. Our family has been in the mortgage business for 4 generations, and InstaFund offers some of the lowest second mortgage rates in BC. Do you have a high-interest second mortgage on your property? It's time to ask your mortgage broker to help you reduce your monthly payments and increase your cash flow. Ask your mortgage broker if InstaFund is the answer to your mortgage needs, or call me, Adam Corbin, at 604-687-2020. Visit our website at instafund.com.
Home prices are out of control in Vancouver. Hi, it's Mark with EA Renovations Limited. Let us turn your basement or laneway into a beautiful new mortgage helper. Fully licensed and insured, we do what it takes to ensure you're completely satisfied. And we make your renovation as painless as possible along the way. Call 604-825-0789 today or visit earenos.com to arrange your free in-home estimate.
Hi, this is Bill Macklem from Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Most people need advice on mortgage financing. We provide personal financial advice with no vested interest and at no cost. We're compensated by the lenders. We'll review your current financial situation to determine if you are ready to purchase. If not, we'll help develop a plan to put home ownership in your future. For more information, call 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
Vancouver weather.
Good morning. There's a 30% chance of showers remaining on the western skies for the rest of the day, and there's even a possibility of a thunder shower or two. They think maybe about 12 degrees for the high, so at least it's getting warmer, right, Bill?
You know what? This is the weekend. We're supposed to have sunshine. We're supposed to be dry. This is the only time we get off. We need to have time to spend with our family, our children, work out in the yard.
And tomorrow, increasing cloudiness, rain beginning in the afternoon and ending late in the evening. And on Monday, cloudy with a 70% chance of showers with a high of 10.
Was there anything else you wanted to do this weekend, Bill? Or?
I'm going to be staying at home reading a book.
Okay, right now it's 9 degrees on the Radio Real Estate Show.
Radio Real Estate Weather is presented by Legal Shield. When was the last time you signed a contract without really knowing what you signed? How many times have you heard the words standard contract and you thought that meant safe? It would have been beneficial to have a lawyer review it first. For more information, visit 247legal.net.
CIL 650.
She's mighty, just letting it all hang out. She's a brick house. I like lady stack, that's a fact.
You know, if you go to Hamilton or you go to Toronto, you see a lot of brick houses.
Yes, you do.
You do. That seems to be almost their number one choice for building back there.
Very stable.
Is that what it is? It reminds me of the three little pigs all huff and all puff and my house is made out of brick and you can't blow it down.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's the Radio Real Estate Show. We're on Smooth and Easy, CIL 650. We're here every Saturday morning live from 10 to 11. But if people listen to the show, Sherry, and then they say, well, we missed that interview you had with Adam Corbin of InstaFund, I would like to be able to hear it. Can they do that?
They absolutely can. They just go to our website at radiorealestateshow.ca and go to our show clips. And there you will find our show clips.
Not even that. Not only that, I should say, too, but you can actually watch the program.
You can watch the program. So just go to radiorealestateshow.ca and you'll see a little video screen, and you'll also see a link to our podcasts, and it will, lo and behold, take you to where you need to go to watch us or to download a podcast.
Is it in HD? Is it HD?
It's looking pretty good. Yes, you can get it in HD.
Really?
Never ask a question where people can answer no to.
I'm pretty good at that.
I don't know how HD I want to be watching you.
That's all right. I don't even know what HD means, so that's okay. It's 1046. It's
High density.
High density.
Or heavy duty.
I thought those were like my headlights in my car.
I think so.
Yeah, 1046. It was 1047 now on the Radio Real Estate Show. I think we have a tune for Bill Macklem, don't we? I ain't got time to think about money or what's it about. That's Marvin Gaye, not John Denver. But so people come to you, they've been thinking about money, and you're the guy that makes all those monetary wishes come true.
It's a very interesting profession.
I'll bet.
You have people come to you. I mean, there's a lot of folks that are just looking to get pre-qualified for a mortgage, and particularly our first-time home buyers or our young buyers, and they can be young as 35. Mm-hmm. They come in and they're looking to get pre-approved. You get them pre-approved. You start the conversation. And you start the conversation about where do you want to be in 5 years' time, not what do you want to do today. Because you want to make sure that when people are buying the home they're thinking they're looking at and their realtors giving them good advice, you want to make sure that they're going to be buying a home that they're going to not be dissatisfied with, that they're actually going to be there for, hopefully 3 to 5 years, maybe 7 years, maybe a long time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you go through their financial with them. What happens a lot of times is a lot of people who are now second-time home buyers, a little later in life, have now got some equity built up in their house. They're fortunate enough to buy before 2003, and then the values just increased dramatically. And they have this equity in their home, and they don't know what to do with it. And there's an expert on every corner. I mean, all you got to do is just carry a watering can, put them on somebody's head, and all of a sudden become an instant expert. So they can be an expert on anything. It's really weird. So if you've done 1 or 2 mortgages, you're now an expert. If you've done 1 or 2 purchases of a home, you're now a realtor. Like, it's all that stuff. No different than that ad on radio where the lady says, I drove a minivan with a bunch of kids for school, so therefore I might be qualified to drive a school bus. It's that same mentality. So what happens is that people come to us and they look for a little bit more insightfulness in terms of how they get their financing. So we look at their property and say, like, you have some money in this home. Interest rates are at all-time lows. You're paying, 2.2, 2.1 on a variable, 2.65, 2.75 on a fixed. You should be able to find a place to borrow money or to invest money, so that you can actually get some growth back. Most people look at me and kind of go, I don't understand what you're saying. So I said, well, so I use a simple example of an RSP. If you bought an RSP and you're in let's say you're in a $40,000 income bracket, you're probably in about a 25% tax deductible bracket. So let's just say it's 20%, just to be easy. So if you bought an RSP, you have a ability to buy probably an $8,000 RSP. With that $8,000 RSP, you're in a 20% tax bracket. You should get $1,600 to $2,000 back on that money. You haven't even invested that money. All you've done is take the money out of your house. You bought an RSP for $20,000, and it's already increased in value by $1,600 to $2,500, depending on your tax bracket. You've already made a return on that investment, and people kind of go like, "Well, I didn't know that." Well, then what do I do with the refund? Well, take the refund and buy an RSP next year, and you start what they call trickle down effect and your multiplier effect. You're starting to get your money to grow. So that's just one example. It's probably the simplest example I can say on the air because it is a little bit more complicated than that. But I just want to get across the principles of what we're talking about now. And so you have an opportunity though. So like I was saying earlier, this lady had come to me 5 years ago, and she's got 5 kids and she's a single mom. And she's trying to figure out, okay, like, where am I going to go? And she was one of those fortunate ones that had some equity in her home. So we suggested to her, like, well, let's get one of our financial planners to sit down with you under no obligation. This is not, like, I don't get paid by these guys to refer them to someone like this. It's all part of who I trust to make sure that you're going to be looked after. And so she invested some money, and she's doing quite well. I have another fellow with one of the police forces. We've done the same thing. And initially, he didn't trust me because I'm a mortgage broker. You know, like, why should I be talking about money? But I am a money guy.
And he's a cop.
And he's a cop. And he has a gun. So I better be right.
And a badge, yeah.
That's one of the things I absolutely, I was going to say love about you, is that I have sent clients to you, and there are some occasions where they don't qualify right now for any mortgage. And they don't want to pay a higher interest rate. So you are able to just kind of counsel them on where they need to be and how long it will take them. So it might take them another 6 months or a year to get their credit in line or get their ducks in a row of where then you can give them a mortgage. But you still are very good at, counseling them along, letting them know the information, and you're not getting paid for that.
No.
And you keep in touch with your clients. I know when I go to my parents' house, I see these little recipe cards all over their fridge, and I'm like,
Let me guess.
There's another one coming.
I don't get any of these, but you send them to my mom and dad, Bill.
Exactly.
Because they're clients.
They're clients.
So.
And my mom gets them too.
Yes.
Your mom writes them too, doesn't she?
The ones at Christmas.
Yeah.
So which reminds me, I have a recipe I got to get back to her. She gave me
I think so. So seniors come to you because they want to take money out of their homes, but yet they still want to live there. So you can make that happen, right?
So we have a number of different lenders. InstaFund is one of them. That allows us to have the tools to actually approach them in a way that's going to be good for them. So we're not trying to jam them into this kind of mortgage or that kind of mortgage or this kind of funding or that kind of financial arrangement. We try to find what they want, what they can afford, and then try to help them from there.
We were brought up in the generation where our parents were telling us the best thing you can possibly do is to pay off your mortgage. And that's not necessarily the case these days.
Not quite.
No.
Not quite. So the argument I use is that if you come in to see me and I'll get you approved and you are the boss. I mean, I'll give you all the education I can. Ultimately, you're going to tell me what to do. So I'm going to sit there and get you the best interest rate I can on the most amount of money I can get you. Then I'll start asking the questions on what you can do with your money. And that's where the secret is that first off, people have to trust you that you can do what you said you're going to do. And then you start asking them little questions. And you feed them a little bit, you ask them a little bit. You're not trying to dazzle anybody with your brilliance, which I don't have anyways, but I'm not trying to dazzle them with all the information I've got. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find out where they want to go. And if you had the ability to borrow $100,000 at 2% interest, why would you ever pay it off? I mean, it's almost like free. So the thing is, what you got to figure out is what would you do with that $100,000? Would you buy another property that's increased, like, for example, and Sherry will tell you that all day long. You buy a house today, it's going up in value at least 5% a year. Right. So you borrowed 2% money to make it a 5% gain. That kind of like is a no-brainer.
So a lot of seniors will come in and see you. They're in this situation. What are they initially thinking, though? What do they think that we should go see Bill, and what do we want to do?
They don't know what they want to do. That's the problem. That's why, like, my meetings with them probably I'm seeing them 2 or 3 times at an hour to an hour and a half each time. sometimes in my office, sometimes in their home, whichever's comfortable for them.
Mm-hmm.
And we just talk about money to kind of get an idea where they're coming from. And then you got the kids.
Yeah.
You know, so like I had clients come in the other day, and their son was with them. And I'm saying what we can do with their money. And he's saying, well, no, hang on a second. No, that's my inheritance. Don't get them to spend my inheritance. And I was showing him that he had made some assumptions based on some misinformation, that the program I was setting up for mom and dad still left him with the ability to get a fairly hefty chunk of inheritance and still allow the parents to live in their home and to be comfortable.
So everything is pretty much safe and sound.
Yeah.
Well, you can get more expert mortgage information online by visiting BillyMac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, MAC.com. Or by calling Bill at 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
Mm-hmm. Now, coming up a little later on, right after the show, it's time for, BC Perio Dental Health and Implant Center. Our special guests, we talk to them at least once a month, Dr. Bobby Birdie and Dr. Ron Zokel, and they'll be in the studio. If you have any questions about implants or your teeth or just your mouth in general, please feel free to give the gentleman a call because they certainly know their stuff.
Really?
Yeah, we should go down and see them. I've been down to see them.
My cousin's having a tough time with one of her implants.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll come after the show. But Dwayne, you went down there. They took good care of you?
Yeah, that was great care. It's good times, good people.
Yeah, are those your
Lovely
teeth?
place.
Yeah, those are his teeth. In an hour. It got those teeth in an hour. Isn't that nice?
They look really good.
Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, so the doctors will be on with us in just a short time. It's Radio Real Estate, and coming up in just a couple of minutes, Sherry.
Well, this is Sherry Brown of Remax Performance Realty. And Ben Jensen is coming up. And we have Bill Macklem here of Dominion Macklem Mortgages, our producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy CIL 650.
When you're planning a business move, here at Redpath Relocations, we understand the business. With over 35 years relocating clients all over the world, we work with you from start to finish. Our service is so good, you'll want to move again. Visit us at redpathrelocations.ca or give us a call at 604-945-9910. Make the right move by taking the Red Path. We're always ready, always reliable.
Home prices are out of control in Vancouver. Hi, it's Mark with EA Renovations Limited. Let us turn your basement or laneway into a beautiful new mortgage helper. Fully licensed and insured, we do what it takes to ensure you're completely satisfied. And we make your renovation as painless as possible along the way. Call 604-825-0789 today or visit earenos.com to arrange your free in-home estimate.
When you have a challenging mortgage situation, where do you turn? Private mortgage lenders have picked up where the banks have left many borrowers scrambling. I'm Adam Corbin, president of InstaFund. Borrow from InstaFund for any reason. Purchase more property, build a development, buy out your landlord, or pay other debts. And let's not forget taxes. We can help pay those too. Ask your mortgage broker to call InstaFund for a quote, or call me, Adam Corbin, at 604-687-2020. Visit our website at instafund.com.
CIL 650.
This old house is getting shaky, boys. This old house is getting old. This old house flits in the rain now, and this house flits in the cold.
Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. It's time now for Finn Jensen, our Radio Real Estate Home Handyman. Finn, good morning.
Good morning, Tom, and good morning, everyone. Hunting for a new home has now evolved into a display of everything available to outfit one's nest. After a few viewings, it's probable everything available has been revealed in all colors, types of metal, and wood. Also, it's a good bet that the market has been thoroughly researched and the developer's knowledge is complete, if not intimate. But this is what a lot of people appreciate. Pressed for time and familiarity with products, it is an advantage greeted with open arms by many buyers. Some may find it a little discomforting that all these choices have been made for them by people they haven't even spoken to. How many feel this way? Who knows? It may be a question developers are looking into. After all, it wasn't that long ago new homes came with a bare floor and nothing else except basic plumbing and heating. Of course, in-home designer services was available to those who could afford it, but most declined and completed the home as time and money permitted. So now the question, was there a savings? Perhaps. It would depend on what was necessary at the time. So the next question, can it be done today? True, there are those who would like to have more of their own taste included in their new homes, so perhaps the solution is just to look around. You may find a bare floor to build your own nest on. This is Finn Jensen for Radio Real Estate. Talk to you next week.
The preceding was a paid program.
Spring is here. I think I was paid previously, right? Spring is here. If you have any plumbing or air conditioning work to be done, call Finn at Gentech Mechanical Installation, 778-378-2740. That's 778-378-2740.
Thank you so much, Bill. About a minute and a half to go on the show. And before we go, you are working this afternoon.
I am working this afternoon, and this hour has just flown by today.
Yes,
but
hasn't it?
I am working in White Rock today. I'm taking out some wonderful buyers of mine and showing them about 6 condos. Great time, to get out there. Condos are still not. There's not a huge turnover very quickly with condos. So it's still kind of a buyer's market in the condo section. So great time. We've got 6 places. I phoned all 6 places. They're all still available. Ocean view in White Rock. So I don't know how much of a view they'll get today, but yeah, it'll be fun.
So if somebody would like to go house shopping with you, can call you at the office?
Absolutely. They can give me a call at 604-970-6789. That's 604-970-6789. Or they can always email me at sherrybrown.ca. That's SHERI Brown.ca.
Well, as we say on the radio, better late than never, huh? Now, before we go, we got to go and pick up the open house signs. You know that?
Absolutely. I got the van doors open. We'll pop them all back in there.
You're so cooperative. That's what I like about you. Bill, you'll be back next week on the show?
I'll be back next week.
And if you can tear yourself away from White Rock, you'll be back next week?
I will be.
Okay, so Dwayne and I have got to stay here because we're going to get our teeth fixed with Dr. Zokol and Dr. Birdie. And maybe I'll have one done for you, too, Bill.
Well, I saw the gap in...
That's for spitting.
Oh, it's for spitting.
Okay. Yeah. Radio Real Estate returns next Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. I'll be back here in just a few minutes and then back on Monday afternoon at 2. So have yourself...
What is it, like Tom Lucas all the time?
Yes, sir. Have yourself a great day. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Happy trails.